There is probably out there a box of Mario cells sitting in some storage place rotting away, and we'll never know about it until this type of information gets out there that these are pieces of history. Would you believe this so-called legend came true? That someone found a box of Mario cells? Who, you're probably wondering? Take a guess. He's the one speaking. So let me explain this whole little story before we take a look into this box. Well, actually, before we do that, let's catch up from when we last left off. I now have 4 Super Show cells. A nice setup of Luigi being the top layer, Mario the second layer, and Toad and Princess Toadstool being the bottom layer from episode 2 on a upside down episode 1 background. So 3 layers, all matching frame 2. Then I got another Super Show cell, this time from episode 4. I even showed this one last time, so I was able to acquire it. I also got a few more Mario 3 cells, but let's get to the main point of this video. June 3rd, 2019, I get a DM on Twitter from my friend Jacob Leonard, who is an amazing artist and animator, telling me him and his father met up with a guy from eBay to buy a radio. Jacob then asked if this guy had any animation stuff, which then the guy told him he has thousands from Mario, Garfield, Ghostbusters, and 7 other shows in a box somewhere from some producer. Probably given the time period, it could be Super Show. Reading all this, I didn't know how to process all of this at first because I couldn't stop thinking about what could be in this box. He then told me he would keep me updated. A month has passed now and still no update. Jacob then messaged him on eBay and was told there's at least 1,000 cells in this box and wants 10 to 12k. Yeah, that wasn't happening. As curious as I was, I asked Jacob to ask him to send pictures of the first 5 Mario cells in the box. I then get the pictures. Oh man, could it be Super Show, Mario 3, or Super Mario World? To my surprise, it was Mario 3. Don't get me wrong, Mario 3 cells are still pretty hard to find, but something was wrong. I couldn't recognize what episode they were from, so I rewatched the whole series again to see where they were from. And I could not find them, so I deemed them unused. He also had Captain Planet and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and Hammerman. At this point, I contacted the guy with the box, so with some back and forth, he counted everything he had. Hope you're ready to hear all of this. Garfield 318, Ghostbusters 273, Bee Gees 78, Dennis the Menace and Waldo 91, Super Mario Bros. 107, Other 18, Superhero Maybe a Thundercats 46, Mats 39, Wizard of Oz 24, G.I. Joe 1, and Alf 5. That's a lot of Garfield cells, only those with enough power can handle the fat cat. Okay, so he says he has 107 Mario cells. Then I get the scariest DM ever. Jacob then tells me this guy wants to call me and give me his phone number. Let me tell you something, texting people is a whole lot easier than calling somebody, especially if it's about Mario cells. So now I have this guy's number and send him a text just confirming it's me, and I wait for the call. Or so I thought. Turns out he's on vacation for 2 weeks. So 2 weeks go by and I text him on July 21st asking for pictures of any close-ups of any of the characters from the Mario cartoons. 2 days and no answer. It's July 23rd, 4 a.m. I accidentally fell asleep with my phone next to me. I go check on my phone and I see 9 new text messages with pictures attached. I wasn't ready for this, especially since I just woke up. The first image I see, I'm dead. I thought I was dreaming. It was a cell of Toad from episode 3 of the Super Show. Then one of Mario from Mario 3 episode 15, and another cell of Mario from that A New Scene I couldn't find. Two of King Koopa from Mario 3 episode 22, then two of Mario and Luigi from Mario 3 episode 15 together, though not matching frame. Then this is where the rest get legendary. A cell of King Koopa from episode 2 of the Super Show, then a cell of Luigi from the same episode with a cell of King Koopa from Mario 3 episode 22 on top. Next, a sketch from episode 1 of the Super Show, followed up by a layout from Mario 3 episode 15. Then a sketch of, hold on a second, we've seen this cell to the sketch before. Yeah, look, so wonder if this guy sold that cell in the past or if it was a different person. And lastly, another cell of Luigi from episode 2 of the Super Show. At this point, I was fully awake at 4 AM and couldn't sleep. The next day I asked for more pictures and again was blown away with everything. This time he sent a picture of the whole pile with things I already saw, and some more stuff I haven't seen. One is of Princess Toadstool from Super Mario World? Wait, we've also seen this before, from this promo image. Yeah, but it's the sketch to that, so that's still amazing to see, even though it has a nice huge rip going through it. Next is a cell of Luigi from Mario 3 episode 15, then even more of Luigi from episode 2 of the Super Show, then a sketch of Mario from episode 4 of the Super Show, then a lovely cell of the Luigi Kid from episode 3 of the Super Show, then two cells of Luigi from episode 2 and a cell of Toad from episode 3 of the Super Show, a sketch of Mario from episode 2 of the Super Show, a cell of Mario from that unused scene in Mario 3 and a sketch of Luigi from episode 2 of the Super Show. And lastly, two of King Koopa from Mario 3 episode 22. Then I asked if he has any backgrounds, and he did, all from episode 8 of the Super Show. Then we talked about pricing, and eventually the rest is now history. So now I have the box, let's go through everything. Alrighty, so the day when I got the box, I organized everything into these portfolios, and as you can see, I also label them. There are three portfolios I'm gonna go through. The first one being the Super Show, and then the other two are Mario 3. I'm only gonna show the cells that I got in the box, because there's also stuff from my personal collection in here. So let's just go through everything and show you what was in that box. Alrighty, first thing we have is this huge, nice sketch of Mario from the first episode of the Super Show. You could see there's some damage to it, but that's fine, it's Super Show. And from the first episode, I assume this rip is here because the cell to this sketch was on the other side, and whoever took it off also ripped it off, so yeah. Next, we have this awesome sketch of Mario, Princess Toadstool, and Luigi, all on one sketch here, also from the first episode. Really nice, really nice. Moving down here, we have our first cell of Luigi from the first episode on a copy background. This background isn't hand painted, it's just a print copy, but since it's from the first episode, looks really nice. Next, we have this sketch of Super Mario, who is shooting out fireballs, as you can see, as it says fireballs, with I think some Korean writing on the side. Funny thing is, I also own the background that this sketch goes from, but there wasn't a single cell of Mario in the box from this scene, because I own another sketch of Mario from the same scene, and he also didn't have a cell, so kind of a bummer. Moving on next, we have this awesome huge shot of King Koopa from the second episode. We are now moving on to episode 2 stuff. So, funny thing is, the cell of this sketch sold almost years ago, so I have no idea who owns it. Moving on next is the only King Koopa cell from the Super Show that was in this box. The rest are Mario 3, but this is an amazing, amazing cell of King Koopa from the Super Show. And moving down here is another sketch of him from the same scene. Next, we have this awesome sketch of Mario, which is he's holding a plunger, which is something you usually never see with Mario and all the pieces that have kind of surfaced over the year from the cartoon. So this is another awesome piece to have. Moving down here is a sketch of Luigi and chains. The cell to this sketch was also used in a promotional image, I think one of the VHS covers. So yeah, pretty cool to own the sketch to that. Next, we have not one, not two, not three, not four, not five, not six, but 7 cells and sketches of Luigi from the one scene in the second episode when the ceiling is starting to fall. But they're all sadly missing a cell layer of Toad, which wasn't in the box. Next is this really nice sketch of Princess Toadstool from episode 2, and right under it is a cell of Luigi that is supposed to go behind her, but since I don't have the cell, nor did the cell of Princess Toadstool was in the box, I couldn't layer Luigi behind her, so these are sadly both incomplete at the moment. But funny enough, a cell of Princess Toadstool from the scene has sold years ago, and that's another cell I sadly do not know who owns. We have is the semi-stretchy Luigi meme cell. Sadly, there wasn't the actual cell of stretchy Luigi in the box. This was the closest thing that there was, and moving on under it is another cell from that scene, and also a sketch from that scene. Moving on down here, we have this sketch of Mario from the ending of episode 2, and yet another sketch of Mario from the ending of episode 2. Moving on to episode 3, we have this sketch of Toad and the vine to one of the Bob-omb plant things from the episode. Here's a nice one of Toad, and yet another one. I have quite a lot of Toads from this scene, especially with this one. And this one has another print background. It's not hand-painted or original. It's just a copy. And then this one has a matching sketch of Mario with it. And the last one of Toad from this scene where he pulls out of the bomb out of the ground. Next, we have an awesome cell of the Luigi Kid from episode 3. This is the only cell of him that was in the box from episode 3. Moving on down here is a sketch of him with the bomb in his hand, like the one up there. Next is a really nice shot of Butch Mario from episode 3, and this pretty much ends all the stuff from episode 3 that was in the box. Moving on next to episode 4, this sketch of Mario was in there, along with this pretty damaged sketch, and also this from the same scene. So that's pretty much the end of all the Super Show stuff that was in the box. So let's move on to all the Mario 3 stuff that was in the box, because there's quite a lot of it. Alrighty, we're going to move on to this portfolio. As you can see, all these are episode specific, because pretty much all the cells from Mario 3 were from this episode, minus a few that we're going to get to after this portfolio. So let's move on. First, we're starting off with this really nice layout from Mario 3. As I know, this is the only Mario layout that has ever appeared from both 3 cartoons. So that's pretty nice that we finally are able to see one and what they look like, because there's a lot of Sonic the Hedgehog ones, but as for Mario, there's pretty much close to none. Alrighty, for this part I'm gonna speed it up a bit because, like I said, all the cells that I got are from the same episode and from the same scene. So there's gonna be a lot of these Luigis and Marios, so let's move on quickly. Here's a sketch, and here's a cell. Here's a cell and a sketch. Mario also has a sketch behind Luigi, and down here is a cell and a sketch. Another cell and sketch, and another sketch with a sketch of Luigi, meaning that they're from the same kind of frame in the scene. We have a cell and a sketch, and 2 cells and a sketch. I'm pretty sure both of these are matching. I also forgot to mention that these go unused in the episode, because the scene starts off with later cells in the scene, but with the earlier cells from the scene do not get used. We have another cell and 2 sketches. There's also a sketch behind Luigi. Moving on down here is another cell and 2 sketches. There's another Luigi behind the cell of Luigi. Here's a sketch, and here is a cell. And here's the last sketch of Luigi that goes unused in the scene, because moving on down here is a cell of Luigi, and it starts the beginning of the cells that get used in the scene. Next, we have a complete frame of Mario and Luigi with a sketch of Luigi behind the cell. Moving on down here is another cell and two sketches. There's a sketch of Luigi behind the sketch of Mario. Here's another frame, complete Mario and Luigi both have their sketches, and yet another one except Mario does not have his sketch. A cell and sketch of Luigi, and another complete frame, both Mario and Luigi have their sketches. And probably the best looking frame complete, and my favorite, both have their sketches. And moving on down here is a cell and sketch of Luigi. Here's a cell and two sketches. There's a sketch of Mario behind the cell of Mario, and another kind of scenario. Same one like up there, sketch behind Mario. And this one being vice versa, Luigi has the sketch behind him. Moving on down here is just a solo cell of Luigi. Pretty much the rest of these are all Luigi. This one up here is cell and sketch, cell and sketch, cell and sketch, cell and sketch. This one's just a sketch, same with this one, but this one has a huge rip in it. This one's just a cell, and this one's a cell and sketch, cell and sketch. Both of these are sketches. There's a sketch of Mario, and behind the Mario is a sketch of Luigi, both frame matching. Sketch of Mario, cell and sketch of Luigi, cell and sketch of Luigi, another cell and sketch of Luigi. And the last thing from this episode that was in the box, a cell of Mario and a sketch of Luigi. There's also a sketch of Mario behind the cell of Mario, and it's matching. Alrighty, let's just jump into the rest of the Mario 3 stuff that was in the box. As you can see, there's also personal stuff in here, so let's just jump right in. We first have this nice cell of King Koopa, and another one of King Koopa, and another one with a mouth layer and a sketch, and another one that was sadly damaged in the box. As you can see, he's pretty bent, and I can't unbend him, so his cell is kind of stuck like that. These are all from episode 22, I believe, 7 continents for 7 Koopas, so pretty nice close-ups of King Koopa from Mario 3. Moving on next from the same episode, there's a cell of King Koopa, a cell and a sketch, and then we have a cell, and another cell and sketch, another cell and sketch, then we just have a sketch, another sketch, a cell and sketch, this one's my favorite one from this scene, a sketch, and the last sketch from the scene, and the most scariest one from the box. Moving on down here is from another scene of King Koopa from the same episode. As you can see, there's a cell and a sketch, cell and a sketch, cell and a sketch, cell and a sketch. This one just has a sketch, cell and a sketch, cell and a sketch. And last Mario 3 item that was in the box is this King Koopa cell and a sketch, all from the same episode. Actually, scratch that. This is the last Mario 3 thing that was in the box. This is from episode 15, Do the Koopa, but the thing is, this almost doesn't get seen in the episode because this certain frame appears in one of the fade-out effects, so it's really, really small and you don't see it. So yeah, there you go. That was all the Mario 3 stuff that was in the box. And if you're wondering if there was any Mario World stuff in the box, yes there was, but there are only 2 things which I'll show right now very quickly. There was a sketch of Princess Toadstool from the first episode. Funnily enough, the cell to the sketch was used in a promotional image, and as you can see has a giant rip going down the sketch, sadly. And then this was the last Mario World thing that was in the box, a really small sketch of Santa Mario from A Cave Christmas from Super Mario World. Oh, you thought that was it? Oh, no. We still have quite a bit more to go through, but don't worry, the rest are backgrounds, so let's quickly go through those. We have one background from episode 8. Pretty much all the backgrounds that were in the box were from episode 8, nothing before, so let's quickly go through them. Here is the second background that was in the box, the third background, fourth background, fifth background, sixth background, seventh background, eighth background, 9th background, 10th background, 11th background, 12th background, 13th background, 14th background, 15th background, 16th background, 17th background, 18th background, and the 19th background that was in the box. So that was pretty much everything that was in the box. It was a long process but totally worth it. Now all this stuff is preserved and scanned. Like I said in the previous video, all it took was some word spreading. Do I believe that there is a second box of Mario Cels out there? Of course I do. There's still so much stuff we have yet to see. Again, these should be looked at upon as pieces of history. These will be forever immortalized on the internet. And until the future, we'll see.